Yo, what's up? It's your boy Dirt Riffs. You're watching the Dirty Death Podcast. I'm here with my heterosexual life partner.
Mayvizzle too, baby. And yes, we are here again. Another consistent episode. What the fuck is going on, everybody? How have you all been? Everybody listening to our
Yo, yo,
delicious
yo.
voices, our wonderful voices. Oh, he's taking a rip to initiate the evening. That's my dude, Dirt Riffs right there. Yeah, shit. Lots going
You
on in
know it,
death metal
baby.
right now. First and foremost, I want to thank the community for a lot of the cool messages that we've been getting the last couple weeks. People are really, really stoked about the new format that we have, and then the fact that we're on Spotify. I got a couple messages from some people, saying, "Oh shit, I've been listening to you on Spotify." Big shout out to Justin. Seed Murda. That's the man right there.
Hell
He
yeah.
actually bought something off my website too this week, so thank
No
you for the
shit.
order. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So I have to make a public service announcement. I am officially no longer affiliated with Murder City Records. I know I was just trying to
What?
sell some fucking Murder City Records shit last week on the channel.
Like two
Um,
episodes ago or something, or an
but
episode ago.
yeah, I'll be completely transparent about it. What happened was we did the first release, and then I was reached out to by my co-owner, Noah from Bloodspawn, and he was like, "Hey, man, I'm thinking of just taking over full control of the label." He's like, "Thanks for helping us get set up and everything, and I need the website and all that stuff." And I'm like, "Yo, totally understand." As we were planning for a second release, I was looking at a really broad um, scope for releases. Like, I want to put some shit out that just sounds good from anywhere if I were to put out
Right.
another release. And then Noah wanted to focus on St. Louis in particular. So, I kind of saw like maybe there would be some creative differences, coming in down the line. So what I decided to do, because I'm addicted to fucking distro now. Like I'm still shipping out orders. There are a bunch of pre-orders that were made. The t-shirts are coming in, and I will be fulfilling all of the pre-orders from the Murder City Records website that were placed. So don't worry about that if anybody's concerned. You'll be getting your, Necro Bundle pre-orders, and then I'm going to have some more on my new website, mayvizzle.press. You'll hear an ad read or two on this episode if you're listening on Spotify or YouTube. And yeah, man, basically decided to start my own thing. Mayvizzle.press. You'll be finding exclusive merch drops. We'll be doing some bootleg tees of the highest quality. I have a lot of distro items on there right now, and I don't want to spoil it, but I'm getting some pretty badass distro items pretty soon from a couple different labels, so those will be available on the site, and I will go ahead and be posting those. So go follow on Instagram right now, mayvizzle.press, at mayvizzle.press. That's the name of the website too. I just thought it looked cool. Instead of like mayvizzle.com, I was like mayvizzle.press, and
It
then
does. It looks hella clean. I've seen it. It
yeah.
looks hella clean.
Yeah, thank you. I had a pretty cool logo done by Gruesome Graphics, and he had insanely fast turnaround. He still might have commissions open. Um, Homeboy works with budgets, so definitely go hit up Nev Gruesome Graphics if you need to get some work done too for your
Hell
brand.
yeah.
I know he does a lot of like artwork for like CDs and poster flyers and stuff like that. But when I said, "Look, man, I need a logo that's going to be iconic," and I gave him the specifications, he drew that shit. Like he literally took my imagination and brought it to life and did it better than I could have imagined it. So yeah, big props to Gruesome Graphics for helping me with that. And yeah, go check out mayvizzle.press. We still got Necrovision tapes for sale. Necrovision has yet to sell out. We still have about 9 copies of it in stock. And then also expect to see some Necrovision popping up on some other distros. You can also catch those tapes at Life After Death, 616 And then you can also get them at, well, actually, that's the only place they're available at right now, but more stuff will be on there. And my website's on Metal
Hell yeah.
Detector. Now, I
Hell
wanted to get into
yeah.
this. You know what Metal Detector is?
What's that?
MetalDetector.com. You ever heard of that shit?
I haven't.
Bro, okay, so I got put onto this by Justin. Seed Murder told me. He was like, you need to get your site on fucking Metal Detector. I'm like, what? What's Metal
I'm gonna look it
Detector?
up as you tell me. I'm gonna look it up.
Metal Detector is a website that checks, it shows the prices for whatever you're looking for in the death metal world. So you go on there. It might be metaldetector.net. I can't remember exactly what the site's called. Um, but basically, it's a website, The Metal Detector. It's The Metal Detector. And themetaldetector.com, and detector spelled with a K. So it's basically a website that has 338 North American shops on it. You can type in the artist and title of whatever release you're looking for, and it will find what distro or website that it's on, that it's available on, and it shows the pricing.
Is
The
that the site?
No, themetaldetector.com.
Oh, .com. Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Cool.
But yeah, it will compare prices for you. So if you're looking for some shit that, specifically, like I'm going to look up larvae.
I have seen this website. Yeah, this website is awesome.
But
Find more metal with searchable results from 338 North American shops.
yeah,
Themetaldetector.com. Yep,
and
with a K.
my site is on there. My site is on there now. So that's pretty badass. The larvae is not on there. Interesting. So yeah, I guess larvae is not available in any US distros yet. I actually just bought a
Holy
copy
shit.
from Peru.
Bam. Facts, y'all.
Yep, the fluids. That's what
Fluids.
everybody.
Mayvizzle.
Fluids
Facts.
X Mayvizzle.
You
Yeah,
have seen
man.
it here on Dirty Death First. This is facts. Metaldetector.com.
So yeah, dude, it's super sick though that they have that. I was really pumped because here's the thing. It's like I'm always like finding new labels all the fucking time.
Hmm.
Here's 338 of them right here. Like if you're new to the
It's
death
just
metal
your
world,
label library.
yeah, you go to the metaldetector.com and just fucking click on whatever the fuck you want to listen to. They have Born Dead
Exactly.
collection, Carbonized records. That's one I haven't heard of. I never heard of Carbonized.
Really?
Oh wow, they're the ones that put
Uh,
out the Mortuous.
yeah, Carbonized puts out a lot of Mortuous, Mortiferum. Actually, I have a Carbonized sticker I'm looking at right now in my refrigerator.
Have you heard of Cloister Recordings?
No, but I know what a cloister is.
What's a cloister?
It's a Pokemon.
No, it's not spelled like that. It's
Oh.
CLOISTEO.
It's a Pokemon, he says.
Yeah, this looks pretty tight. But yeah, man, like, so you can go there. You can just look at different labels. Gilead Media, there's one I haven't heard of. Like, I think the Metal Detector. Big shout out to Metal Detector, man, and thank you,
Yeah, for
Justin, for
real.
showing me that website.
Yes. And thank you for reminding me of it because I have used that before.
Yeah, man, it's definitely a really fucking cool way to find different releases that you haven't seen before, and
Oh, dude, definitely.
yeah, like I'm for sure gonna be like trying to hunt down all of these labels and follow their socials.
Right.
Shirt Killer, like that's a cool fucking site. But yeah, so mayvizzle.press, everybody give it a peep. Take a look at some of the items I have right now. I got some stuff from Life After Death, Stump Grinder Records, and then I have the last copies of that, or not the final copies, because Fluids has some on their Bandcamp as well. But I have a handful of copies of the Fluids X Mayvizzle split, and that
Oh,
yeah, I really, really was stoked about that. So that has an advance on the upcoming album. If you have the stomach for it, go on Twitter and look at Fluids. They did a post recently that has a verse off of one of the latest songs that we've recorded for this album. Album is on track to completion. I'd say we're at 70% now, maybe 75% done.
Hell yeah.
We've been working on this thing for a long time, so really excited to see how it all comes together. And
Hell yeah.
yeah,
That's fucking
definitely.
awesome, man. I am still very stoked for you on that because Fluids wound up on my 2022 album of the year list three times.
Yeah, they're a really good band, dude. Like they're
Yeah.
just they it's I've never like I've worked in a professional space, you know? Like I feel like the way I've always approached things is like as a professional. Um
Right.
Musically, I've never worked with anybody on a professional level other than like bookings and like doing shows and like, you know, like
Right.
that kind
Right.
of shit. And the way that we operate, like when we just have been getting stuff done, I will commend them, man, for keeping it professional. Like here's the shit. We do this, okay, da da da. Not much is said. That's the thing too. Like I said, I feel like I'm fucking. You ever seen that movie 5 minutes or less,
5 minutes or
or
less.
30 minutes or less? Is that what it's called?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have with Danny McBride.
Yeah, yeah. So like
Yeah.
I feel like the guy in 30 minutes or less, like when I'm working with fluids, cuz like I
Yeah.
get the shit sent and I'm like, "Okay, like do this. I hope it's accepted." And I send it back. But we're still going, man. We're still working on it. So I think they're pretty happy with what we got. And
Hell yeah, dude. That's fucking awesome.
yeah, and I'm also excited to see what happens when this gets released in the wild. Like, what the fuck are people gonna say? Um,
Yeah.
People are gonna think I'm fucking crazy. I'll tell you that.
Fuck it, bro.
So
What
yeah,
if anyone ever put like a limit on creativity, then that person should never have any say in anything creative ever.
okay. So if we're talking about that, then the no limits to creativity. You know what we're segueing into, and this has got to be the biggest topic out of this fucking week. So right now, so the same first off, the Sangui Sugabog album came out.
So what?
Sangui Sugabog.
How would Mike Tyson say that? Say it like Mike Tyson.
No, I'm not. Thangui Thangui Thugabog.
How dare you? I'm telling Mike Tyson.
No.
I'm just kidding. I wouldn't tell him.
Would you let Mike Tyson full power punch you in the face for $1 million? One
How close to
punch.
my death? How close to my deathbed am I already?
Um, Tomorrow.
Fuck it, man. Like if it's like if it's tomorrow morning, yeah, sure. I'm just gonna have a really good night tonight.
Dude,
It's
fuck.
Mike Tyson, bro. It's Mike Tyson. Like you were already on your deathbed, you know? You're like, if you're dying tomorrow,
Yeah, fuck it.
why
No,
not?
I wouldn't want to be
Fuck
an
it.
old ass
Fuck
man
it.
getting punched by Mike Tyson.
Yeah, but you'd go down in history as the first person to ever die from being punched by Mike Tyson. You know what that would make Mike Tyson?
We don't know that, man. Mike
The
Tyson might have killed
the
somebody.
real life, the real life One Punch Man.
Ooh. That would make you're crazy, dude. What the
One
fuck?
Punch Man,
He
real
just
life.
kills people with one punch. Fucking Mike Tyson. Holy shit.
That's funny.
So
But yes, the new
yeah.
Sangui Sugabog record. I will tell you this. Uh that's amazing. It's amazing. It really is. Like the last time I even spoke with Devin about this, I messaged him about it. I was like, dude, the last time you and I talked face to face about your guys' music, I said that Pornographic Seizures was my favorite 11 minutes in death metal history. But honestly, Homicidal Ecstasy tops Pornographic Seizures and Tortured Whole put together, if you ask me. But I am also a huge fan of brutal death metal, and this is definitely a brutal death metal record, and it shows a lot of growth. As in, like, this is the first record that they've wrote together as Sangui Sugabog as it is now.
Yeah.
That's pretty fucking cool.
So here's how good this record was. I fell in the camp of people that tease Sangui Sugabog because they are borderline hardcore with death metal, right? So here's the thing. That was brought to my attention. I never gave a fuck about the whole hardcore versus death metal
Yeah.
argument to begin with. Like I always like looked at people that like said like that took the hard stance on hardcore versus death metal. And I was like, yeah, like that's cool. Like if it's music, it's music. You enjoy it, you know, because Mike even
Yeah.
said it that way on Warflare Wednesday.
Yeah.
And then
Shouts out to Bryce. He's the one who taught me that.
yeah, you
Should
know,
never
and
feel guilty about any kind of music you like. There's no guilty pleasures. So
yeah.
shouts out Crypt Keepers.
So yeah, shout out Crypt Keepers, man. And
We love you.
I started talking to this one dude who was really like, yeah, fuck them. They're fucking hardcore. Their next album's gonna be a hardcore album. And I was like, I'm running with it. Like, and I'll tell you, the sayings, you know, everybody already makes fun of their name.
Sangui Sandwich Bong.
They say it a whole bunch of different ways and shit like that. Yeah, and Sam Wayne Sugar Boob, and you know they say all sorts of different
The
stuff.
Sam Hain Sugar Boob.
Yeah,
That's a new one.
and and I'm like, you know, okay, like like I was introduced to them when Trevor reposted the video for Menstrual Envy. I think that's the
Hmm.
song. Yeah, Trevor posted
Yeah.
that video, and this was right when I was really getting into the scene, like the other year. And I was like, man, these guys, their shit slaps. And then I seen the video for Dead as Shit. So my introduction, you know, was Tortured Whole. And
Yeah.
I bought that record. It was probably the second or third record that I bought from Night Shift when I started buying vinyl, and I really fucking liked it. Like, and I don't know where I had the disconnect. Maybe it was just because so much time had passed, and I like didn't listen to the singles. I didn't listen to the live tape. I was just like, you know what, I don't and in general, I don't listen to singles anymore because I don't want fucking singles to ruin my experience like it did with the Undeath. Like you put a single out, I listen to that too much, then I get the whole album. Like I already painted a picture of what this full playthrough is gonna be like, and if it ain't like
Right.
it, it ain't the shit. Like or I'm not gonna give my
See, and
time to
like,
it.
and that's where you and I kind of differ a little bit is like, depending on the release and how hyped I am for it, like, I'll wait. So, like, for an example, the last on Death record, I listened to the singles, but I didn't listen to the whole album until I'd gotten it.
Yeah,
But like sometimes I won't listen to it at all until I get it. Or like sometimes I'll do that. I'll listen to the singles and then I'll listen to the rest when I get it. But like once it comes out on streaming, I still just wait until I get it at that point. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
I use the singles to hold me over.
Like I couldn't do it though because like Undeath they released their singles way too far in advance of the album release, and by
I
the
agree.
time the album came out, I was fucking already tired of it, you know, and I hadn't even
Yeah.
heard it yet. So it's like I didn't want to do that with Sanguine Sugabog, and I was like, okay, like the morning came, everybody's tweeting about it, and I was laying in bed with my son as I do, or as I did. I would get up every morning. You know, I didn't have to leave to work until like 7:30, so I'd be in
Right.
bed with my son at 6:45. I grab him, get him out of his crib. You know, I got the little man right now, so I put him in bed with me. He sits down and he fucks around with his little toy remote thing and just like starts getting his day started. And sometimes I'll put on music, so I'm like scrolling through my phone, and I put on the new Sanguine Sugabog, and holy fuck, dude, that shit, like one song, the first track pulled me back in and
Yep.
reminded me why I fucking love this band. And like it sounded so good. It like my kid looked over and like at it and was just like this. Like he knew the shit was sick. Like even he knew it was good. And like, you know, if he has some music on he doesn't like, he'll cry. And he likes metal. He likes good
Right.
metal. He likes melodic metal. Like it's funny the music I put on. I put on some grind. He gets kind of like, what the fuck is this, you know?
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, no, I put that on and my kid was digging it. I was digging it, and I was just like, man, I really fucked up with this album. It's really good. And then, you know, It's definitely up there. Like they everything that everybody is saying about them, they
Is
deserve that
absolutely true.
the accolades that they have received for this album. Not
Yes,
everything
a hundred
everybody is
percent.
saying, because this is what I wanted to get into. So like, the day goes on, their stories are flooded with people posting the album. We're all enjoying it as listeners,
And it's fucking
and
heavy as shit.
so there were like two people that hated on it, but like everybody else was like, yeah, this shit is good. We can't deny it. It's fucking good.
Yeah.
It's not hardcore death metal.
No.
It's new death
It's
metal.
brutal death metal. It's okay. There's two things that I see when I think of this record. It's heavily rooted in brutal death metal, for sure. Like, yes, these dudes like hardcore too. That's not a crime. Like, we're allowed to like, I like hardcore and death metal. That's not a big
But
deal. But
they're raising the bar.
they did raise the bar because if you compare this to their last album, it's an entirely different ballgame. Because the last album was very rooted in old school death metal, which is cool. And it was also rooted in brutal death metal as well.
And
But like there was also that old school death metal riffing that was there. This one, you got like brutal death metal power chord slams all over it. And they're all brutal as fuck. Like the vocals are on point. The drumming is out of fucking control.
yep,
Like Cody fucks this shit up hard.
they
Like all over the place again. Like his drumming is crazy, and that I thought it was amazing on this album. The riffs are fucking hard. I'm a bit. I mean, my name is Dirt Riffs. Come on, like the power chords are there. I'm a sucker for that shit, dude. So what? All it took was the first halfway through the album. I was like, this is it. This is fucking this shit right here. Like just the first few songs, I was like, hell yeah.
yeah, like it, and they did it. And then I've even heard the thing saying that they're one of those bands that lost the people that wrote the original music. So what are they even gonna make? There were so many doubts about this
Yes.
album, and
And
they
that's what's also the doubts are what make it so great because it isn't an album
the
with the original band anymore. It's an album with Sangui Sugabog as we know and love it now.
they put all the shit talk to rest with that. And
They did.
what happens when nobody can talk shit? Some new shit was created. And I'm scrolling on Twitter at the end of the evening, and there's some fucking guy that says, these guys are disgusting. I can't fucking believe this. Devin is, whatever name. And here, I think I'll read the post. I'll read the post that I sent to you.
Please.
Um,
Please do.
yeah. So this
Because
guy
that's my red
said,
button.
CW, which I don't know what that means. It might be something warning. Rape. He said, I originally just thought Sangui Sugabog was just not for me, but learning the vocalist has a rape themed band has made me realize why people are so vocal against them now. No, people were vocal against them because they just hated the music.
Yeah.
It's overly rape themed. Every song, every album is about torturing and raping women. They're talking about
We're talking
Limb
about Limb
Splitter.
Splitter.
And Limb Splitter, this tweet is about their vocalist at their band Limb Splitter. Context was already established in previous threads with friends and mutuals. I didn't expect people to start keyword searching Sangui Sugabog and whine to me. All right, dude, come on. So I'm gonna tell you this. Look, buddy, have you ever heard the song? Is the guy's wearing a Teeth shirt? Come on, bro. Yeah, Teeth's a good band too. Like, I'm not hating on Teeth, but check this out. Here's the thing. Has he ever heard the song called Fucked with the Knife by Chris Barnes?
That's the example you pick. I
Like,
love that. I love that.
you can't, it's death metal. It's
You're
death
right though.
metal.
You're absolutely
It's
right. Like,
fucking,
okay,
this is what it
it just
is.
comes down to this. Like, could you imagine being the guy that gets mad at the death metal dude for writing death metal lyrics? Could you imagine being that person ever? That's
And
so fucked up. Like Limb Splitter is sick. The music is great. It's fucking awesome. Yeah. Is it kind of like a in my opinion, a joking kind of like nod to like how death metal is just like that. It's just
Here's
gory, it's scary, it's terrifying. If you're not, it's extreme music. It's
yeah.
made to be extreme. If it's not extreme, then it's not extreme music. That's just how it is.
Has this guy heard torso fuck? Like, I
Yeah,
mean,
like,
torso
is
fuck has
Devin
a
actually
headless.
out here doing these things? I
Yeah,
don't think so.
I know. I don't think so either. And he seems like a pretty legit dude, you know. And
Yeah, and if someone was really that concerned about it, if any of y'all follow me on Instagram, you can watch my fucking stream that I did with Devin, and he actually addressed that because I've talked to him about Limb Splitter a couple times, and if you look on streaming services right now, Limb Splitter actually just came out with a new album, and I got to listen to it for this many days. It's not there anymore.
yeah, I got taken down from all the sites. And you know what? Though it's like, okay, dude, somebody said something. The guy from Attila, I forgot what his name is, but one of the guys from Attila said like, moving forward, I'm not just, being shocking to shock people or like, to piss people off. Is I'm not gonna be edgy to piss people off. No, 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 no. Death metal isn't about being edgy, and that's a
No.
misconception. If you think that
Yeah.
death metal is about being edgy, no, it's not. It's an homage to shit. Like it's an homage to different types of shit.
Right.
There's a movie called Mother's Day from the 1980s. One of the most fucked up horror movies ever. It's about these two chicks that get kidnapped by this crazy old lady and her two like goon sons, and
Yeah, I know the movie.
you've seen the movie, like
I
so.
haven't seen it, but I know it. I've heard of
Yeah.
it.
So like, these girls go through all this fucked up shit, then they get their revenge, at the end, and it's like, like that's the kind of like shit that used to come out, and like that type of shit probably couldn't come out nowadays. I mean, Hills Have Eyes kind of did that kind of thing, like, and it's
True.
difficult to watch. That's the thing. It's difficult
It
to
is.
watch.
It
It
really
and
is.
I'm
You're
not
right.
saying like, this shit should be glorified, but it's like, you know, it's art. Like watch the movie Solo. Like that movie was made by Criterion, and it has some of the most fucked up shit in it ever, and some of the most fucked up shit ever in a movie. It's literally like subtitled "The 30 Days of Sodom" or something like that. I forgot,
Right.
but that movie's on the Criterion Collection, and it's looked at as art, and it's like, you know, that's what extreme metal is, man. It's like you're just
Yeah.
being crazy. Like he could have been like nodding to some other shit, like, oh yeah, maybe it's too crazy or whatever.
Like,
like, but
yeah, like
people
and
don't.
and in like I'm not I agree with you, but I'm not saying like it's a like a nod like, hey, this shit is cool if you're out here doing that shit or like
No,
those lyrics are cool, but it's like you got to look at other bands too. Limb Splitter's not the first band to write lyrics like
yeah,
that.
I sent you the
Like
lyrics.
I guarantee you that guy who made that thread literally listens to bands that have literally listens to bands that have lyrics of the same content matter. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And doesn't even
So, and
know it.
he doesn't even know it. Like me, I'm not gonna lie. I don't always look at lyrics. I don't always look at it. Like the vocals to me are just another instrument. So like I'm listening to that as well. Like yeah, there's words in there, but like does everything sound cool? Like that's all I'm really paying attention to. Like I don't always read the lyrics unless it's a song that I'm like really into. I got to be really into it to like pay attention to that.
Yeah, man. Like you gotta be a real big. You gotta be like, oh, I like this. I'm listening to it 3 or 4
Yeah.
times. Oh, now I got the booklet out and I'm fucking,
Yeah.
because I got nothing better to do.
Exactly.
And it,
Exactly. Because we're music nerds. Why wouldn't you do that?
yeah. So, that's yeah, that was just a funny take that I saw on the internet, and you know,
Whack.
I think that this is the wrong place. I mean, the thing that I hate about it though is like this dude's tweet at that time got traction. It got like 189 likes, 110 retweets, and 50 people joining the conversation. A lot of the people were calling him a fucking moron, but
The good. Good.
it
Because
it says it reached 102,000 people though, and I'm just like, dude, Like, look, man, we're death metal's already marginalized as fuck. Like, we're already in
You
this
know?
little box,
Yeah.
and like, you're just gonna turn off. Like, you have no idea how beautiful of an outlet this kind of music is to fucking people when they do discover it. It has been for me. I know it has been for you. I know it has been for a lot of the people in the community. Just to have that tape to be stoked about, or to have that like emotional release, like when you get to listen to certain types of shit. And
Right.
that's what we live for, and that's what we're about. And to see somebody just like putting abandon a like getting mad at, you can't get your old man screaming at the sky at that
Yeah.
fucking point, like yelling at the sky, like, because it's like, dude, it's fucking death metal. Like, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
like, just don't go listen to fucking Dua Lipa.
Think whatever the fuck that
You
is.
don't like Dua Lipa?
I don't know
Dua
what that
Lipa.
is.
She's like the new like big like pop like EDM singer. That she's like on all the EDM shit.
You
She's
know what's funny too?
huh.
Um, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Um, the fact that I said, like, could you imagine being the guy that's like mad at the death metal dude for making death metal lyrics? Think another perfect example, Chris Barnes. Everybody's mad at Chris Barnes because he's a fucking tool sometimes. He says and does dumb things, but has anyone ever said anything about his lyrics in the death metal community about them being offensive in any way? 6 Feet Under Cannibal Corpse?
Nope.
No. So why is it a problem with Devin then? Why
Yep.
is it got to be a big deal? It's death metal, man.
People just want to get mad at shit, and it's like, I understand, but it's like, no, you're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. Stupid take. Move on.
Yeah.
Everybody else,
Yeah.
move on. Let Sangui
Yeah.
Sugabog have their moment. Let them have their fucking moment. These guys deserve their
For real.
moment. I got a
They
negative
work hard, dude.
sentiment by getting lost in the noise. I can't lie. I got a negative sentiment by getting lost in the noise, and
It'll happen.
I apologize, because this new album is fucking great, and
It's brutal.
you can't not be, if you haven't heard this album, if there's one album that you have to hear out of 2023 so far, a lot of people are going to say, shut up, Vivis, it's fucking hardcore. No, go listen to the new Sangui Sugabog fucking album. It is
Yeah.
fucking great, and
Top
the
shelf.
artwork is different. Like, they did good. The whole thing,
Yeah.
they did good. So
I completely agree with you.
yeah, I fucked up with Sangui Sugabog.
And you know what's funny is I so when Tortured Whole came out, I pre-ordered it. I waited like 6 or 7, maybe 8 months for that thing to show up. It was a Holy Mountain exclusive. It finally showed up, and I was like, the new record, they were starting to like bring up some hype about it. And I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even pre-order it this time because I didn't know what to expect. I knew I was gonna listen to it regardless, but
hmm
now I need to find me a copy.
Yep, I didn't buy a copy
But
either.
I went balls to the wall, and I am gonna go see them in Columbus. So
Yeah, I might go. Well, you know what? They're doing a show. Who are they touring with again?
Internal Bleeding, Vomit Forth, and Year of the Knife. Right now.
Fuck.
Well,
The
here
next tour.
soon.
The next tour.
Uh, I can't say I recall,
Is it?
honestly.
It's not the fuck. I know they're like third or fourth on a tour. It's not the 200 stab wounds.
Oh yeah, Chaos and Carnage with Dying Fetus and Suicide Silence.
Yep.
Yeah, that's gonna
It's
be a banger.
I have a fucking prior engagement the night that they're in town, so I'm like kind of bummed out about it, but I really wanted to go there just so I could say what's up to the dudes, give them props
Yeah.
on the new album, and fucking
Oh, for real.
you know, buy some
Yeah.
merch, buy some tour merch from them.
Yeah.
Fucking, you know. But yeah, if you end up catching them, man, if you can find a cassette for me, just snag me a cassette. That
Oh,
would
dude,
be
I got you. I got you.
yeah. You sent me the Undeath cassette. You sent me the Sangui Sugabog. It makes sense.
Was
Those are
that
those are
wasn't that the first time you listened to it too?
yep on cassette. I like from
What did you
beginning to
think? I
end.
never did ask you.
Oh, I like it now. It aged a little bit. I just I, I don't have time to sit with one release. I think the only release that was able to like catch my ear to just listen to it over and over again was
Yeah.
Lipoma. And that was just because the Lipoma was so fucking good, man.
Yeah. I still
The
have that on repeat.
for
I have the tape actually out with my tape player, and then I have the CD in my CD player at the same time.
my son doesn't
So I
like
can
it.
always like play it. Yeah, but
That's
he don't like the gore
it's
grind.
one of the tapes he doesn't like. Yeah, it's there's something
It's
about
a it's the deep end.
I think it's
Just
just the vocals, you know. I think that he doesn't like the pitch shifted vocals because anything else, I play Phobophilic, and he fucking likes it. He's just like he gets all hyped up and shit. He starts
yeah.
swinging his arms like yeah, and he gets pumped, man, and he loves it. Like I get my stack of tapes, I'm like, ooh, look what I got today, and he looks at it like, ooh, and then I put it in, and then I play, and he's like, he like waits because he knows the noise is gonna start. It's crazy, but but yeah, you know, like what else did I get? I did get a couple CDs from Noxious Ruin that they tossed in
Did
with my
you?
order. Yeah, so I got a shit ton of releases, and I'm actually I can't go into releases because I have way too fucking many of them. I'm sitting on like 16 tapes I haven't listened to yet that I got in the last week and a half. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. I got a lot of shit. So I had spent so much money on giveaways and then also, you know, the Necrovision release and just like all sorts of like shit that I was spending money on that was going to music. I wasn't buying any music for myself. If I was doing a trade, I'd get a trade for myself here or there, a tape or two.
Yeah.
Or if I was doing like you know, if I do giveaways, I'd keep a copy, you know, like for myself
Right.
if I was
Yeah.
buying. But most of the shit I was just putting into gifting people that watch the show because I fucking love you guys for watching us. Um, so, you know, that was my main focus for so long. I finally decided, well, it's time to, you know, buy myself some stuff. So
Yeah.
when I had the ability to purchase some shit, I put an order with Gurgling Gore, two orders with Noxious Ruin. I pretty much purchased everything on the Noxious Ruin site. Um, so I just started listening to it. One tape I can talk about on this show is the Infected Hand Rot. They're a band from Brazil, and it has two demos on it. One from 1993, one from 1995. I was able to listen to the entire 1993 demo, and that alone was enough to recommend a purchase because the 1993 demo it sounds like a band that wanted to take all of the shit, all of their influences and put it into death metal. And
Yeah.
like when you listen to old school death metal now, I feel like they pick and choose things from back then, but they cut out a lot of that stuff. This is a band that you could tell was influenced by like Iron Maiden, but they
Yeah.
they were an old school death metal band though.
Who is this?
They're called Infected from Brazil.
Is this on Spotify?
It's on, I don't know. It's a demo. It's a 93 demo. So a
Oh,
lot of,
okay, okay.
yeah, a lot of the things that are on Noxious Ruin are hard to get. Like they're usually very, very like exclusive type things.
Yeah.
So like I I would recommend picking that shit up, man, before it sells out. It's I bought it like I just bought everything on the fucking site, and I'm getting through
Yeah,
it and just being
clearly
like, cool.
16 tapes. Holy shit.
Yeah, dude.
Uh I there is one release I wanted to get into with you because we haven't done this in a hot minute. But and I know you have this and we talked about it a little bit.
Ah, yes, the
Bam.
limbless. I gave away a bunch of them motherfuckers. I still haven't shipped them yet.
Yeah.
For all the people watching, I'm gonna ship them when I have time. With giveaways, I don't ship them out as fast as I used to because I'm managing the website now. I gotta ship. I prioritize website shipping, but I will ship out them
Truth.
giveaway tapes. I never forget
Do you
about
have do
anybody.
you know where it is? There you
Um,
go. You
yeah.
can pocket that one.
So you said so limbless is a band that is a side project of Landry and Jason from Corpse
Jason.
Pile in Texas, and Those fucking guys are insane. This is
Hmm.
like their extreme, hyper, ultra, super death gore, whatever the fuck they called it. Um,
Yeah,
it's like it's slam beatdown music like taken to the next level. And
yeah, it's wild.
if you thought Corpse Pile was heavy, listen to Limbless. And it's the songs are short. It's a very short tape. And I didn't even listen to the second side. But you said the second side is some dude fucking giving like a military like speech or some shit.
Yeah, yeah. What's funny is I actually so that tape has been in my player for since I got it.
Yeah.
I just literally keep flipping it over. It's easier to just play the B side. I've heard it a million times, but like I just keep playing it so that when I flip it back over again, all I have to do is press play again. I don't know. It's just a weird thing I do, I guess. But yeah, it's a weird. It's not weird. It's a speech given by I'm not sure who. It's like obviously like an ex service member or something of some form of branch of military. And what's funny about that, and I don't even care, it might be a hot take, but I don't give a fuck about that. I messaged the Corpse Pile page because I knew it was them. And I messaged them and I was like, yo, this tape has been in my player for since I got it, like at least a week or two. And then I sent another message. I was like, fuck war. And uh Jason messages back and he goes, you're the first person to ever say anything about any political things I've put on our tapes.
There's political shit on their tapes?
I guess so. I didn't know that. I mean, I have the only anything I have the split with Snuffed, and that's obviously an A and B side.
I didn't
I
hear
have the
that.
Corpse
Yeah.
Pile sampler, and then I have the Limbless tape. But I'm guessing that's something that he's done before and just nobody's ever said anything about it. But I mean, I
Dude.
play it and I listen to it and to me like dude makes total sense. So call me a hater on war, but I mean if you're hating on war, that's okay with me, I
Yeah.
guess.
Fucking QM Shadows fucking appearing behind you to fucking whoop your ass. Fucking M Shadows. Remember he make a whole song about people hating on the war?
Yeah. Yeah, fuck war for real.
You ungrateful motherfucker.
People can say I'm dumb all they want, but fuck war. Smoke more backwoods blunts for
Yeah.
real.
Fuck war. Let's all fucking grow fucking long ass hair and smoke backwoods and listen to death metal.
That sounds fucking awesome.
And eat hot chicken. Do they have any hot chicken
Yes.
spots near you yet?
um, not really. There's a lot of like food trucks in my town, but it's mostly like Mexican food trucks or
Mm.
they got some like southern food ones.
They're finally opening some fucking hot chicken near me. I'm like, fucking, it's about fucking time, man. Like you've
Hot
had
chicken is
like
good. I
Tennessee
have there
hot
is
chicken
a no, there's
or
like this
Nashville hot
I
chicken.
don't know if yeah, I've had that. I don't know if it's the same thing and you might know what it is and I've gotten some people to know what it is, but there's this like Mexican food market in Boise and it's got like this chicken that's just straight up red.
Nah, it's different.
Like it's different, but
Yeah,
it's different, but
similar.
you know what I'm
It's
talking about?
marinated. Yeah, it's marinated
Yeah,
hot.
it's just
Yeah,
like straight up hot red
that
chicken.
sounds so good.
Oh man, it's bomb.
I want to
Like my
try it,
homie
brother.
showed up with a bunch of it one day. I was like, "Dang, bring more of this shit, dude. This shit was good."
Bring more of that. Like fucking yeah, dude. I'm on a kick, man, with that shit. It's a trend, I guess. They're gonna open some near you, I bet.
Oh yeah.
They're opening them up fucking everywhere. There's like 3 or 4 different chains. Dave's Hot Chicken is like the most prevalent one. I ate that when I went down to visit Frank. I was talking about it in our group chat and sending all the pictures.
I've heard
You
of
know,
Dave's Hot Chicken. We actually in our town, so to give you an idea of how like slightly remote it is, we just got a Taco Bell.
just got a Taco Bell. How the fuck did you just get a Taco Bell, dude? I told you no. I can't talk about that on here. But I told you
Okay.
lightweight about how I thought I pulled up into the Taco Bell, and it turned out to be a fucking El Pollo Loco. And I looked at the menu, and I like it didn't process in my brain, it didn't register, and I looked at the thing and I was like, this isn't Taco Bell menu. Like, this is a weird. My first thing is because they open these Taco Bell Cantina restaurants in the Bay Area where you can buy
Yeah.
like margarita, fucking what's it called? Like actual
Baja
like
Blast.
alcohol Baja Blast. Like they'll put
Yeah.
it in your shit. So
Yeah.
like I was like, what is this? One of those weird fucking Taco Bell Cantina menus? And I'm like, okay, I could get with that. I'll get a little drink too. And I'm like, this is not Taco Bell. I was like, where's my cheesy gordita crunch? Like, where the fuck is it? And then I'm like, I'm at El Pollo Loco. And I was like, whatever, I'll get two rolled, they had rolled burritos with fucking consomme. And I was like, okay, I'll fucking eat it. And that shit was delicious, man. That shit was fucking bomb. It hit. And yeah,
Man.
it was pretty funny. But I digress. I want to talk about Planters peanuts. This is one of my topics for today. So
Okay.
Tommy Lee, I guess, fucking posted a picture of his nuts on Twitter and tagged
For Vince Neil's
Planters
birthday.
for it was someone's birthday.
I think it was for Vince Neil's birthday. I heard something about that, but all I saw was, did everyone see Tommy Lee's surprise for Vince Neil's birthday?
So that was last time that he did that like a while ago, and fucking just did it again randomly and tagged Planters peanuts in it.
Hmm.
And like Tommy Lee, there everybody's like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? He just keeps posting his balls on fucking Twitter. And they're like low
Yeah.
effort pics that like nobody needs to see too. It's like, what are you doing, Tommy Lee? Like you're like
So what you're telling me is that if he had taken some actual high quality, actual action shots of his nuts,
he could maybe make
you're
an
game.
OnlyFans. He could maybe actually like benefit off of it, but like he's literally just an old rich dude with a Twitter.
Yeah, okay.
And it's funny because like Twitter's like falling apart right now. Like yesterday, so I'm on Twitter and or I think it was 2 days ago, I was on Twitter and I was like trying to follow somebody on Twitter, and it said
Yeah.
like you have reached your daily limit for Twitter. And a bunch of people were getting the message. Schuler Benson posted, it says I've hit my max amounts of tweets per day. And he was like, okay, well, I'm just on Instagram for the rest of the day. And they're trying to like limit shit now on Twitter, like with all sorts of rules or whatever. And there's just like issues that are occurring as they're updating the app while people are fucking using it. And Tommy Lee just has no issue posting a picture of his fucking nutsack. Like,
Yeah, that's weird.
here's
Something
my
doesn't
nuts.
add up there.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, how are they gonna like? It doesn't make sense to me, man. How the fuck what they're doing on Twitter? Like,
I don't know. I've never fucked with Twitter really.
uh,
I just
it's
I
good.
see stuff on there. I've seen people post stuff from there or whatever, but I've never really used it.
Twitter's dangerous, man. Like, people attack motherfuckers like viciously on Twitter. Like, I feel
Dang.
like the lowest common denominator of people are on Twitter. I feel like
Right.
Instagram is more like a community. Like, it's kind of like how like Tumblr used to be back in the day, where it's like, yo, these are my homies and we all talk and like we're cool.
Yeah.
And then like Twitter is just like, I'm mad at this. Fuck you. Like everybody in the comments. Twitter is like a Call of Duty lobby, like from back in the day, but just like you say
Like a
whatever you
Modern
want.
Warfare 2 lobby
Yeah, but it's an
back in the day.
anti Modern Warfare 2 lobby,
Oh,
because
okay.
it's like, no, I'm gonna get mad at every little thing that you
So
say.
everyone's just hating on shit.
Everybody's hating, but they're hating a different way. They're hating, like they're trying to find hate that in places where it's unfounded a lot of the time. Sometimes it is there, but it's like, it's literally like, what's the next thing that we're gonna raise our fucking pitchforks about and gang up on somebody,
Dang.
whether we know if they're fucking actually doing it or not? Like, we're just gonna
Dang.
fucking fuck them up on Twitter. Like, that's just how people operate on Twitter now. And that's why I'm excited to see how this Fluids album drops, because you know, it's going to be really interesting to see what people's take is. Like, it's literally, I mean, it's not for the sake of the music. It's literally some very it's the most disgusting rap album that you've ever heard. It's the most provocative rap album that you've ever heard, and it is just really different. It's the antithesis of hip hop, and that's what I think it is. And I think a lot of people are gonna be really upset about it.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people, I think more people are gonna just laugh at it, because that's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to make you laugh. It's supposed to make you feel weird, and you're supposed to enjoy it ultimately. Like, I'm making the
Right.
shit to make people enjoy it. So I really hope
Yeah.
people enjoy it, and I don't get killed by Twitter. Fucking after this shit comes out, because
Yeah, fuck it.
there's literally no bad heart. Like, there's no punching down. There's no like bad heart behind it. It's it all comes from a good place, even though it's just a really weird thing. It's more of like a it's more of a like an observation that I have made about like just shit in the world that I've noticed throughout my life that I've never talked about, like shit that I see people do, and like it's just interesting to me, and I'm not trying to punch down. So that's the
Yeah.
last time I'm going to talk about that. When this shit comes out, I'm just going to be like, "Oh, it is what it
Yeah.
is. Fucking Fluids album. What the
Everything has
fuck you
been
expect?"
addressed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you
Fucking
want to
A,
hear
man.
some of that album, there's a clip of it on Fluids post. If you can stomach the video, I think I already said that earlier. But yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah, Tommy Lee's testicles. Do you want to see him? I'm not gonna show him
Uh,
right now. I'm just saying.
yeah, not necessarily.
What's your take
I
on
mean,
that? Old man posting his
it's
nuts.
just it's weird. Like, I don't even know how old he is, but I know he is an old dude now. But like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess it just, to me, it just goes to show you how much you can get away with when you have a lot of money.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
Even the smallest thing, I guess. I don't know. That's my take on it.
it probably raises his stock. Like it
Probably.
probably it raises demand for Tommy Lee, because it's like, hey,
I mean,
like,
what else do you expect him to do?
yeah,
You know what I mean?
he's relevant again. We're
Yeah.
talking about him again,
We're talking about him. And it's not about
So
his upside down drumming.
yeah, yeah. It's not even about the drumming anymore. And then it's kind of funny that he tagged Planters in it, because it's like, come on, dude. Like, he thinks it's like 1980s. Like, that would have been a good
That's it.
joke.
That's like his version of a prank call.
Yeah, right.
He's
Like, what
like,
are you
dude, you
doing?
should have seen who I just prank called on Instagram or Twitter or whatever the fuck. you
You,
know?
you know, I thought Tommy Lee was Tommy Lee Jones for a long ass time,
Oh
and I
my
was like,
God.
man, he looks so old. Like, in these
This guy plays
movies,
drums for Motley
this guy
Crue.
played drum. Like, he must have been hella old when he was in Motley Crue. If this is Tommy Lee Jones now,
Jeez.
yeah. So yeah, enough on the Tommy Lee's nuts. What you got for me?
Tommy Lee's nuts. There is one thing I wanted to bring up, and it's kind of a shout out, but it's kind of like, I don't want to sound like I'm boasting, but I'm pretty pumped about it. Uh, for Boise's sake, Boise has a show coming
Boise,
up here in, yeah,
Boise.
straight up Boise. They got a show coming up. Boise's got a show coming up in March 5th. Tsunami's coming here.
Ah, Tsunami. Those guys are crazy. And
It's not death metal,
I won't
but
go to a
they go
Tsunami
hard.
show. I won't
They
go.
go hard.
I refuse to go to a Tsunami show. I'm
This one's sold out.
and I you wouldn't see me at a Tsunami show. I am
So
terrified of those hardcore shows. I am
so
terrified.
it's Tsunami, Ingrown, Texas Ketamine, and it's the last Texas Ketamine show until they play in Texas, I believe, for Gulf Coast Death Fest, and then they're
Where are
gonna
you
start
gonna be?
writing new music. What?
Are you gonna be like behind the stage? Are you gonna be
I
like,
don't know, man. I mean, the Candy show almost sold out, but
I'm
this one is sold
scared?
out for sure. But what's even cooler is this is why I'm boasting about it a little bit. Hate 56. I don't know if you've seen any Hate Five
I've
Six
watched
videos on YouTube.
all the Hate 56 Gulch videos. I love
Yes.
Hate 56. They make great
Same. I
videos.
love the Gulch ones. The Gulch ones are my favorite ones.
I was showing my
Um,
nephew because he never seen hardcore before, and we're gonna go see Terror, and
yeah,
yeah, with the Black Dahlia, and I was like, yeah, man, I was like, you want to see the sickest hardcore band? And I showed him Gulch, and he was just like watching
yeah,
like the lead singer do like rolling rolls around the fucking thing and shit.
yeah.
He was just
Gulch is
like,
badass.
he was like, they're crazy. He's like, is that guy just hitting people in the crowd? I'm like, yeah, it's called
Yep.
crowd killing. That's why you gotta like stay up in the back.
Yeah. Yeah. But anyways, Hate 56 is coming here to Boise to document the show.
Sick.
Dead to Rights is also playing. I haven't heard Dead to Rights yet, but
Dead to
I
Rights was a
mean,
video game on Xbox.
yeah, I know that, but I've never heard the band. So it's going to be a pretty wild show. I'm really excited about it. I know I'm actually really lucky to actually go because the show sold out in pre-order tickets or like pre-sale tickets. And they said if you get there early, there's going to be a very limited amount of tickets at the door. Very limited.
Dang.
So I'm sitting here like, man, they probably got like 25, maybe 30 tickets at the door. And I told my buddy, and I'd come to terms with the fact that we're not going. I was like, okay, I guess we're not going. Whatever. He gets on the website the next day. He's like, dude, they put some of those extra tickets on the website. I bought two of them right away. I was like, yes, all right,
Yeah,
we're
got it.
we're on, bro. Hell yeah,
That's
secured
awesome.
in the clutch. Hell yeah. Speaking of that, that same dude, I won't say his name because he doesn't really fuck with the internet or anything, but
He's off the
he's a
grid.
really good homie of mine. He's off the grid. Great homie of mine. I'm going to that Black Dahlia murder show and the obituary show in the same week in Salt Lake City with him. I got my Black Dahlia murder ticket secured. He's got the obituary tickets secured.
Dude, that's so good. Yeah, I need to buy them damn obituary tickets. So there are some tours that are going on right now that I wanted to bring to your attention. Because it's almost like more and more tours just keep getting
Yeah,
announced that are just
yeah.
badass. So next week I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to go. It's very unlikely because it's a long ass Uber drive that costs more than the ticket. But I'm going to Dallas next week, and Rotting Christ is doing a concert in Dallas. And yeah, it's going to be like 30 minutes from where I'm at. So that's a long Uber drive. It's like $80 for going both ways for a $30
Dang.
ticket. So I'm like, am I really going to spend $120 to go
Well,
see
who else
Rotting
is
Christ?
playing?
I didn't know any of the other bands. They're like some black metal bands, which, like it's cool. It's not like Mayhem or anything. It's not like someone like,
It's
oh
a
yeah,
show in another state, which is cool.
yeah. So I was like, maybe I'll do it. I'm probably not gonna do that one because they're also coming that same week to my hometown. So maybe I'll catch them here. Rodney, it was kind of like just the only death metal show going. There's Escape the Fate and Papa Roach the same night, and I'm like,
I'd
I've
rather
already
go to
seen
Rotting
Papa
Christ.
Roach like 50 times, so I don't need to go to that one. But
Get out of here.
but no, so yeah, I was like whatever. But I will tell you this. So they're in the Bay Area cuz I thought about what you said. Your words really sunk into me. You said find your local venues and go to shows and don't be afraid. And I was like, you know what, man? Like there's so many shows that I want to go see that
Hmm.
I was like, I'm just going to start looking and just get out of my comfort zone. I hate San Francisco. I hate going
Okay.
to San Francisco because I've had my tires get popped when I go out there. I've had, all sorts of stuff happen when I've gone to San Francisco. So I just get like anxious about bringing my vehicle into the city. And I
Yeah.
don't like taking BART because BART sucks. You can't pay me to take BART. Like, I'm not going to sit there and people are smoking crack on the train, syringes and shit, human shit
The fuck
everywhere.
is Bart?
BART is like the
Oh, like the
subway.
light rail?
Yeah, it takes you in and out of the city. and it's
Okay.
usually the best way to do that kind of stuff. But I'm like, I'm not
Yeah,
fucking.
but the light rail's fucking weird, man.
It used to be really cool. I used to take it all the
Yeah.
time, and then
I used to have to take that shit with my dad in
uh,
Sacramento.
dude, I used to go. There was this one station I used to get on. I think it was like I think it was Civic Center, and I used to go there as a kid, bro, to the Metreon. We used to get on there, and it was super nice. And like now, when you go on, it's literally just like 50 people lined up shooting heroin, like all on the side, and it's disgusting. Like, you know,
Yeah.
and I understand, like, there's an issue, there's a serious issue. I'm not saying they're
Yeah.
disgusting. I mean, it's, yeah, it's like, come on, motherfucker, like, you gotta be here. But
Yeah.
like, but the thing is, like, I know there's a much bigger issue that needs to get dealt with. You know, with, and that starts with city officials and all that kind of shit. But it's way worse than it was when I was a kid. It's gotten worse. And it's the reason I fucking don't take that kind of shit anymore. So
But has it gotten worse, or did you just not notice it because you were a kid?
no, it's gotten worse because I was much more vigilant as a kid. When I was a kid, I'd always have my eyes out for shit like that when I'm like going solo places. And I used to
Yeah.
take the fucking BART train from one end to the other end every single week.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
never, yeah, every week I was always on the fucking BART. I'd be hopping the BART, I'd be paying for BART. I was always on BART all the time going somewhere. And, you know, whether it's just going to the city to hang out, you know, but like I never had a problem with it, and now I have a problem with it because it's disgusting. I got hit with a crowd.
Yeah.
I got hit with a cloud of crack smoke, and that was the last trip I took on BART. You know,
Dang.
it was, I literally had some homeless
I'd have probably
dude, or
taken more trips on it.
I had a houseless
I'm just
person's
kidding.
I had a houseless person's like breath in my body. I felt violated, bro. Like a
That is,
cloud
yeah.
breath. I
I
smelled
could,
it and taste. Yeah, that's disgusting, right? Would you let a houseless person breathe in your mouth?
I wouldn't let anybody breathe in my
Yeah,
mouth.
it was weird. It was weird. So anyways, that's the reason. That's one of the reasons I like
Unless I'm
didn't go.
dying.
But
If I was
I'm
dying,
gonna
that's
get over
different.
my irrational fear of going to the city because Death to All is coming to San Francisco
Fuck, dude. There you go.
with Suffocation.
Dude, I'm gonna see Suffocation too.
I have to go.
With
I have to go.
brutalism. Yeah. Yeah, fuck it,
And
dude. Go.
then Morbid Angel is coming.
You better go to that. You better go to that one because I'm the closest drive I would have to do for that is Reno, Nevada, and that's like 8 hours, I feel like. 6, 8 hours, I think.
And here's the sickest thing about the Morbid Angel. So I talked to my wife, and our anniversary is that same weekend. I was like, hey, look, I was like, if I take you to a really nice dinner, you want to go see Morbid Angel with me? And she was like, okay, I'll do it.
Dude.
So my wife's
You
coming.
got a winner. Cheers, bro. You got a winner.
Who are the
Bam.
and Morbid Angels with Revocation
Revocation.
and Skeletal
Is that a
Remains and
yeah,
Crypta.
Skeletal's playing. Oh my god,
Yeah.
dude. Yes.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Skeletal Remains, since they're from California, they're only on a very short part of that tour where I get to catch
Yeah,
them.
that's what I'm
So
saying.
I'm
Yeah.
so stoked, and big shout out to Frank for turning me on to Skeletal Remains. You know, like he told me about them when I was down there in LA, and he was like, "Yeah, they're from here." I was like, "No shit." So yeah, super stoked, man. Like
Fuck
that's
yeah, dude.
going there.
I'm very proud of you. I am proud
Yeah,
of you because sometimes I'm not gonna lie, I do wonder like why this fool ain't going to shows. Like he's in
yeah.
Cali, bro. There's got to
I
be good shows all the
It's
time. Like
not
I have a
having
buddy
people to
in,
go with, man, and the
so
city's
it's like
different, bro.
it's yeah, I know. Like I have a buddy. It's a different area, but he's in LA, and LA gets all the shows. But it's like, man, it's Cali. You got to go to some shows. I only ever got to witness two California shows, and they were both in, I believe the city's called like Orangevale. Is that what it's called?
Orangevale. I don't know where the hell that is.
I feel like that's what it's called. I don't remember. It was so long ago.
Yeah.
Durriff's be smoking a lot of weed. He don't remember some
Yeah,
things.
I don't know, man. I don't know like that. Like I'm going to see Brujeria.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah,
Why not?
with Mike from
Dude, just
Barbaric Brutality probably.
yes.
Yeah,
Hell
I was
yeah,
like, "Let's
dude.
go, dude." And he was like, "Yeah, I'm down." So but About to
Yeah,
roll out
dude.
there.
Fuck yeah.
I ate some hot chicken with him last time I saw him too. We went to Dave's Hot Chicken. Like, yeah, I'm super down, man. I'm super down. Look what my dad just threw at
Fuck
me,
yeah.
man. You won't believe what my dad just threw at me. Check this out. You ever heard of Dixon flannels? This is turning into a Dixon ad right now.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Those are
So
nice.
they do like the limited Dixons, like they did like the Reagan, which was the Exorcist one. They've done like I have like the red rum, which is the what's it called? Like the shining one, and like this one that he just gave me.
Dang, that's sick.
Yeah, dude. Wow. Look, it even says it right here. It's a Slipknot on the
I
pocket.
love when they do that. Like bands will do stuff like that when they make,
Yeah.
merch like that.
It's on the
That's
inside too.
cool.
Yeah, no, this
That
is a
is cool.
badass flannel. I love
Yeah.
flannels, man. I like wearing them when it's really cold. I used to really be into flannels when I was younger. And yeah,
Dude, they
he's
always look good. You can't go wrong with a flannel.
yeah. Shout out to my dad. Holy shit, that's a
For real.
badass
Shouts out
flannel.
to your dad.
Yeah, he always hooks
You
me up with
know,
the Dixons.
you know, it 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 just makes me think when it comes to times like that, I always think of these wise words that I thought of from a really wise man named Earl Stevens. You know who Earl Stevens is?
No,
He said, I don't be slacking in my mackin'. I be doing it in a player fashion, making it happen, speaker slapping, scooting and skating and Cadillacing. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
You smell me?
yes. Is that the thing that you said you were gonna do every time?
You don't know who Earl Stevens
I don't
is?
know who that is. Who's Earl Stevens, bro?
Bodie water.
Oh yeah, E40. Come on, man. Well, I gotta cut this
Bodie
out.
water.
People are gonna shit on me. I have feelings about
You have to
E40.
leave that in there. Yeah, I have feelings about E40 too. He's the man.
Nah,
He's the man.
I like E40. He was cool. He's cool.
He's a hood classic. He's a hood classic.
He's cool, but I just I don't know. I was never a really big E40 fan. I'll tell you that. I'm like E40 and Too Short too, and that's the other thing. Too Short, like I'm talking Oakland rappers. Like I wasn't really into the Oakland hip hop. I'm more into like
Really?
the San Francisco hip hop, like that shit. Like
Oh
RBL
man.
RBL Posse,
Yeah,
JT the Bigger
RBL is dope.
Figure. Come on, JT
Yeah,
the Bigger
that's dope
Figure.
too.
Game
Yeah, that is
recognized,
dope.
game in the vein, man. Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
you
yeah. You
know,
right, you right. But 40 is dope. 40
yeah,
got beats, and 40 is like an old school king.
yeah, he's good. I don't
I
know.
mean, think about it. If Mac Dre was here, it'd be a different story.
That's the
But
thing. Yeah, Mac Dre, Andre Nicotina, San Francisco. That's another one.
yeah,
You know what's funny? JT the Bigger Figure said something hella funny about Andre Nicotina one time. Um, he was like, "Yeah," he said, "I remember him when he was a kid. He didn't hang out with anybody." He said he would always be. His mom never let him leave the house. He'd be up in his room alone doing cocaine. And I'm like, "Oh, that makes sense," because Nicotina's
you
like
know what's
the
funny
craziest
too
dude out there. Huh?
is you were talking about like public transportation. I actually met Mac Dre's neighbor on the light rail once.
Was it really Mac Dre's neighbor, or was he
I have
just
no fucking
he
idea. I
was
think it was just a
wolfing?
crackhead just
Yeah,
who saw my Get Stupid t-shirt and was like, hell yeah, dog.
he was
I'm
probably
all
just
wearing a Get
wolfing.
Stupid t-shirt on the light rail, and he's like, that be Andre, bro. And I was like,
You
yeah.
remember? You
He's
remember
all, I used to
Equipto?
live next door to
I
that cat.
used to
Who?
live next door.
I was like, what?
That's like you wearing like a Joe Biden shirt and being like, "Yo, that's my boy Joe. I used to live
Right.
next door to him in Washington." No, no. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, you remember Equipto? He would be on the songs with
Yeah.
Andre Nicotina. So my
Yep.
boy was on the Samtrans one day going to work, and he seen a Equipto on there, and security came through and they were checking tickets on everybody, and Equipto didn't have a ticket on him, and
Oh, they wouldn't let him in, huh?
they were like, no, you got to get off because they check you as you're already riding, like ticket,
Mhm.
ticket, and you pull out your ticket, and he didn't have a ticket on him, so they were like, you got to get off, and he was like, nah, he's like, I'm a Equipto, you know who I am, I'm a Equipto, I rap with Nicotina, and they're like, sorry sir, you need to get off the train.
They're all more like equipped. No, you have to leave.
Yeah, equipped, no. Oh, that's a good one. But so you were talking about Body Count, Ice T's band, the other day, and
Yes.
Dave Mustaine wants to write a song for Body Count.
Why not?
I don't know about that. Like, I mean, okay, like that's so
I mean,
random. That is so random. Is Body Count? Body Count's on Psycho Las Vegas. Are they doing? Have
mm,
they done that the last couple years?
I'm not sure.
I think they may have. I know there's like Wu Tang on there. It would make sense to see Ice T performing in some sort of fashion,
Yeah.
especially if it's like a Las Vegas. It has to be, you know.
Can
Um,
you hear me eating this pickle?
no,
Sorry.
no,
Okay,
you're
cool.
plenty far away from the mic.
Awesome.
And this is
Go
gonna
ahead.
this is
Sorry.
about to turn into a different kind of video. But yeah, but yeah, man. So I thought that was pretty interesting that Dave Mustaine wants to do that. Um, you know, any thoughts on that? Like,
Um,
would you buy that single?
so as far as Dave Mustaine goes, I like Megadeth, but Megadeth was never exactly one of my favorite when it comes to like the big four of thrash metal bands. I'll probably put on Anthrax before I put on Megadeth, really, or Metallica or Slayer before either of those two. But I could totally see it. I mean, Ice-T fucks with thrash bands. Like he had Riley Gale on a Body Count song. So it's believable. I could see it. He's just wanting to write the lyrics, or Ice-T wants him to write the lyrics.
No, Dave Mustaine wants to write a song.
Oh, he wants to write a song for them.
Yeah, and I think
What is
with them maybe like here's our song.
okay?
Yeah,
I could see that. That would be cool. I mean, that goes to what we were talking about last time with the Anthrax show, how they play Bring the Noise with like back in the day, originally it was a Public Enemy, right?
yeah, and I don't know. They might have. How much did they really tour with that? You know what I mean? Because it's like
Yeah.
it's a weird mesh. It's like, did they do one tour where you get to see them both, or did they do like,
Yeah.
did like that through the 90s? Because there's definitely footage of them performing it with them, in the music
Yeah.
video too. So
Right.
I don't know, like,
I mean,
it,
I'm not gonna lie. If there was a tour going around like that right now, I'd check it out. If it was like a fucking metal band with a rapper or something, I'd go check it out. I mean,
eh.
I went to Tree for it last year, and Esquire Ali was there with Texas Ketamine in the
Yeah.
same venue.
Oh yeah, no, for 100%. Yeah, man. Like
I
Chrome
don't care about
Ghost.
mixed bills.
The
I'll
first
check out a mixed bill.
the first time I saw Chrome Ghost was at my concert that I did. I did a show with Chrome Ghost years ago, and they're doom. They're like
Really?
bluesy doom. Like
Okay.
they're really good. They're on Transylvanian now, and it's funny because I did a show with
Damn.
those guys years ago, and yeah, it was super weird. Like I did that show. I got a sticker from them. It was funny because I found it recently. Like when I was moving, I still had the sticker
Yeah.
from all the years ago. But yeah, hip hop. It was a hip hop show, and then they had that band Chrome Ghost just play. I think they were like the second or third act that opened, and they rocked it. Like people were down. Like the people were smoking weed, and they're just like, "Oh yeah, this shit's cool," So I had a good. I could see that kind of show happening in the
Yeah.
'90s though. Like I maybe it's a little different. There's a lot of weird shit going on in the '90s though, and early 2000s. Like you remember Arrested
Yeah.
Development? You ever heard of that rap group?
Uh,
They had that
the
album
show?
Zingalama Dooney.
I've
No, it
heard of
was
the
there's a
show. I feel like that is a rap group too.
they sing that song what's it called? They sing a lot of songs, but they were talking about positivity and I rap like this and kind of like they were like a Tribe Called Quest, but like more like
Not as good, obviously.
more yeah, like more of a message, you know, behind all of their shit. Like
Yeah.
and they were
Yeah, I haven't
super
heard them.
positive, super duper positive.
There
So like
was a weird point in time with hip hop like that though.
yeah, like there was a socially conscious and like when it became very socially conscious,
Yeah.
you know. So yeah, they were big during that time. Like there were a lot of really I don't know, man, it's weird. It like hip hop, there's so many different kinds of hip hop coming out at that time. But like seeing it merged with like real metal, that's different to me. Like hardcore, okay, I can see that, but like imagine like you get like Cryptum and then put them at the same concert as like what's it called?
Atmosphere or something.
Playboy Cardi. Like and that's the other thing
Yeah.
too though. Hip hop is so much different now on the large scale. Like the
Yeah.
large artists cuz like the way that they do their shows are like the way Madonna used to do her shows. You know, it's not like you go to like a death metal concert and like Death to All. They literally just come out, play the shit. They have the big flag up behind them. That's their show. That's a big act
Yeah.
that tours, you know. Black
Right.
Dahlia, you see them. They have the lights, you know, light show and shit. I think the craziest it gets is like War or like those specialty bands, Ghoul, the ones that like really do theatrics and shit. But you go to like fucking like Playboy Cardi or a Little Baby concert, and this motherfucker comes out like on a raised pillar, and like the light comes on him, and they're like backup dancers and chicks twerking around him, and like he's
Yeah.
telling a story thematically, like as he's walking around, like, and it's just the coolest shit. Like it's an experience. Like these new hip hop concerts,
Right.
I couldn't see it blending with the. I feel like I'm not gonna lie. I feel like death metal's a lot more humble with like the way they do their shows because they don't do this overly thematic pop type shit unless you're talking about like King Diamond. Like
Yeah.
that would be sick if they did like a Little Baby with King Diamond.
That
What?
would be pretty cool. Yeah.
Playboy Cardi would do it. It would have to be Playboy Cardi because he's already got that like edgy, like, you know, type shit that he's been pushing through. And then like
Yeah.
even the shit Little Yacht, I'd be excited to see Little Yachty live. I know I'm totally tangenting right now, but I wanted to
That's
say,
okay.
um, I listened to some of the new Little Yachty. One of our friends, I won't say who, but one of our friends
I
said,
know who you're talking about.
yeah, he said I'm listening to the new Little Yachty, and I was like, oh okay. And
I've never listened to him.
I listened to it. I used to listen to Lil Yachty. He was like one of those guys that like was heavily influenced by Little B and just kind of said, "Oh, I'm gonna make my own sound," and like super heavy auto tune, but like he did it his own way to where it sounded really cool. And then he just did this new album where it sounds like fucking like Tame Impala and Pink Floyd mixed while he's singing with that auto tune, and I was like, this shit's pretty tight. Like it's something different, and
I'm gonna have to check it out.
it'll be really weird to see. You gotta like just smoke like a joint and just listen to this fucking album with it, and then you'll just be like, ah, interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll like
I feel it.
it's very
I
very
feel
like
it.
it's a ride kind of album. You know, you got to listen to it. So, um, what you got for me? What's our next
That
topic?
being said, though, bringing it back to death metal because it is a death metal show.
Oh, Dirty Death.
How do you feel about the new Dying Fetus single?
I haven't heard it.
Really?
Yeah, no, I didn't even know they had a single out.
They have two.
I'm under a rock, man. I only know underground.
Oh man.
I only
Dying
hear this.
Fetus though.
Yeah.
Dying Fetus is like they're still doing it, man.
I wish
They're
I
still
bought
just
the
killing it.
I wish I bought the wrong one to fuck with LP that came with the knife. Limited edition.
Really? Is that real?
they
Holy
did
shit.
they did a release and it comes with
That's
like a
the hardest
big
thing
ass
ever.
fucking knife.
Holy shit. I have that on CD. I feel like I have like two of their albums on vinyl and like three or four on CD, I think.
I don't have any of them, man. I need to start
Oh
getting them.
man.
Yeah,
Honestly, if you like that kind of shit, like brutal death metal, Dying Fetus really is like the other side to Devourment. You know what I mean? If there was a yin and yang for brutal death metal, one side
yeah.
would be Devourment and the other side would be Dying Fetus.
Yeah, they are. I have listened to them a lot. Like I've listened to their albums on Spotify. Um,
Yeah.
I just don't buy larger band shit unless it's like Black Dahlia. Like that's my
I
thing.
agree with you.
Like
Yeah, I agree.
Mike, and I mean I do if I have the money. Like if I have money, I'm like, yeah, I can fucking throw away. Like okay, that because I'm basically doing that by giving it to the bigger labels because it's like the
Right.
bands. How much is the band actually going to see from this? They get the real money from. I would see them live if I could. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, Dying
Oh,
Fetus is
amazing.
the shit, man. Like I fucked tough
Yeah.
with them. They're
I
fucking.
love Dying Fetus.
They're one of the first bands that got me into the heavier kind of shit too. Like when I started listening to it, because the thing was, so many people were telling me, "Oh yeah, we're influenced by them. We're influenced by Dying Fetus," and I was like, "Really?" And then I started listening to it. And I'm like, "Oh yeah, this shit's like heavy. It's slammy, but it's not. It's death metal. Like it's, you know, that's what's cool.
Yeah.
You're right. The way you just put it, like." There's Devourment, and then the other side is Dying Fetus. It's like, yeah,
Yeah, because they're both in the same vein, but like just the styles are different. You know what I mean? They're the same genre, really, at the end of the day, but you can compare the two, but you can't.
Dying Fetus is more groovy and more focused on like the riffs. And
Yes.
Devourment's still groovy, but more focused on the fucking the drums and the vocals are very different types of vocals.
Yes.
Dying
If you
like
listen to the production too, Devourment is very raw, aggressive, like abrasive, aggressive. Like it's just
the snare is just
very,
you
very
know.
unfiltered. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And then you listen to Dying Fetus, and yeah, it has all that aggression that Devourment like production has, but it's also very cleaned up and it's tight, and you can hear everything
It's
that they're
like
doing.
mainstream like that kind of
They
shit. Like
also have they're very heavy lead game
yeah.
as far as guitar goes. So
Yep.
you kind of have to have clean, not clean, but more tightened up and clean sounding mixing for that, you know?
Yeah, the
You don't have
100.
to have that raw production as much as far as like a band like Devourment would have.
And I wish I could see them. They've only been touring on the fucking East Coast for the last like 3 years, and they're finally coming here. And I'm doing something the night that they're here.
Dying
So
Fetus?
yeah,
Are you fucking serious?
yep. I'm fucking busy that night, and they're with Sangui Sugabog too. And I'm like, what the fuck, man?
What?
I want to hear the
Oh
new
my
album.
god,
You know,
dude. That's the show you got to be at,
I'm
man.
so disappointed, man. But it is what it is. I mean,
I won't roast you too bad about it, but
I
you know,
it's out of my control. Like that's the thing. It's out of my control.
I feel it. Yeah.
So but
Yeah.
anyways, so yeah, man, that's fucking badass.
Yeah. Yeah.
What you
I'm
got? You got
definitely
something else?
no, I think I that's actually everything.
We went through everything. Okay, so I want to talk about some video games now.
Okay.
You remember? Do you ever play that game Brutal Legend?
No, I've
You
never
never
actually heard
played?
of that.
You never heard of it?
So, okay, as far as video games go, you know how it is with me now. Like I usually only play Fallout, right?
Yeah.
Well, when I was a kid, I didn't really have video games. It wasn't really a thing until like I had siblings. Like I got a Game Boy when I was a Game Boy Color when I was like I don't know, I had to have been like 8 or 9, but I didn't have like an actual console until I was like 13 or 14,
Oh wow,
and it was a PS2. But PS2 was cool.
that's the best console.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, I didn't have all the best games, but I had like a lot of good ones.
They don't
You know,
make
like Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts was a great PS2 staple. Um,
Def Jam.
fuck, what else? Yeah, Def Jam. There was a lot of skateboarding games for that.
Yep.
Tony Hawk's Underground 2, American Wasteland, all great games.
Grand Theft Autos were all on
Grand
there.
Theft Auto, of course,
You know,
of
Metal Gear. Did
course.
you ever play the Metal Gear games?
I feel like I had friends that played them, but
Oh,
I never
bro,
really got into them too
they're so
much.
dope. The stories are just so fucking crazy. Like the game starts
Yeah.
off like you're a spy on a mission, but then the story just gets so fucking ridiculously insane and like twisted. Like the dude, like you're like you start out and you're just like, yeah, so the president is kidnapped and you have to save him and da da da, and like, so you go into this place and like the terrorists have the whole thing taken over, and then like you're just this badass dude like sneaking through and shit, and then everything, you get introduced to this guy that you think is this guy and he turns out to be a different guy. Everybody starts double crossing you, and like the whole story narrative gets crazy, and then the whole thing just flips fucking upside down. You have to like ride a skateboard around to defuse bombs at one point. Yeah,
What
it
the
just gets,
fuck?
like so insane.
What the fuck?
And then they did and then next thing you know, like the dude that you're talking to starts having flashbacks from some traumatic shit that he suppressed when his babysitter like or his mother-in-law abused him or some shit. No, not mother-in-law, his like stepmother was abused him or whatever, and then he starts having flashbacks and like just keeps calling you on the phone, like you because like in the game you answer your little radio thing, and like, and I don't remember this completely correctly, but I just remember being like, what the fuck is going on with this story? Like I thought I knew, like I'm this hero to save the people, and then it's just everything's thrown out the window, and yeah, no, it's such a weird game, and then like the tactics that you use to like move around, like you get a cardboard box and like you just fucking put it on you and you can just like
What
walk
the
a
fuck?
little bit and then like stop moving, and then when the guards walk by they like don't notice you because you're under a cardboard box.
It's like a Scooby Doo disguise.
Yeah, and exactly, and then fucking and then like one of the weapons that, or one of the things that you can use is a porno mag, and like you put it on the ground and the guard sees it and he goes ah, and a little heart appears over his head, and then you can either take him out and like pick your magazine back up, or you can like just leave him there with it, and yeah, dude, it's like it's really cool. It's super weird, and then you get specific items that you only have to use for one thing. It's like, oh, here's a heartbeat detector. You need to find the guy who has a pacemaker in this room of 50 people, and you're like walking around and you're trying to do it while dressed as a guard, and people are like, what are you doing? Like you can't look suspect while you're trying to check their hearts. It's such a
Yeah.
like it's such a good game, and they could that's just Metal Gear 2. Like there's different Metal Gears, and that's not even the best one. So it's like that guy that made that game, Hideo Kojima, man, he was fucking brilliant. But yeah, if you haven't played it, if you get the opportunity, you can grab it on Amazon for Xbox One or Xbox 360. What you do is you buy the Xbox 360 Metal Gear 2 and 3 collection, and then you can play it
Yeah.
on your Xbox. And
I have Xbox One S.
oh, you got the S.
Yeah, so I can play 360 games.
Is it Series S or?
No, it's the slim one with all the golf ball holes in it.
Oh, so you can't put discs in.
No, I can.
Oh yeah, yeah. Then you can. Yeah, you should buy that, man. You should check it out.
Yeah.
That game's
And
badass.
I'm a physical copy kind of person too,
Yeah.
like with everything like that.
Oh, it's so good. It's like it's such a weird fucking game, but yeah, it's something you have to experience in your lifetime. I recommend that. Like I have a
I'll have to
so
check that out.
I got a modded PS2. Also, if you just want to get a PS2, I can show you. I'll show you how to mod it. I'm not. If anybody messages me about modding services, I won't tell you how to do it. But because I didn't do it myself, I just happened to find this device. It just ended up in my possession, actually. Um, I don't know anything about modding, but I have a modded PS2 that has every fucking game on it, like every PS2 game on a big fat hard
What?
drive. Yeah, and It has all the Metal Gears. It's got like the horror
Holy
games.
shit.
Yeah, dude. It's
That's insane.
yeah, I've been recently replaying NFL Street and what's the other game?
Could you imagine still having to save your games on a memory card?
Oh yeah, dude. So I actually so now they sell PS2 memory cards on Amazon that have like 256 megabytes. So it like is enough to like, cover up every game that you
Yeah.
need. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Like, could
it's
you imagine still having to do that?
oh, dude, I'd be pissed. Like,
I
uh,
remember going up to my mom and dad and being like, I need another memory card. Why? Because I'm all out of space. Why
yeah.
don't you delete some stuff? Because I haven't finished what I'm doing yet. I need another one.
I know. I had no memory card. Like when the
Really?
Xbox, yeah, when the Xbox Series what was it? No, the Xbox 360 came out. They had the hard drive less version cuz it was like
Yeah.
$50 less or $100 less, and that was the one I got. And I didn't get a memory card with it. And like I didn't realize to play backwards compatible games you needed the hard drive. To play like, a bunch of games you needed that. And I had Dead Rising on it, and every time I would play I'd start
Dang.
all the way from the beginning, and I was just like, this fucking sucks. And my cousin bought a memory card and was like, here, you can use my memory card. So I was like, sick. So he like, brought it over and left it there, and so he could play like Madden franchise or whatever. And then he got mad at me for some shit and fucking took it. And I was like, no, like I fucking can't.
Incomplete.
Yeah.
Dang. RIP, bro.
Yeah. It was cool though, man. I mean, having the I ended up buying the hard drive separately and getting my shit together eventually. Like I don't know why I didn't
Yeah.
just get that from the beginning, but
Yeah. Yeah, you
I
gotta
should
have
have
a
just
memory
bought it.
card. I mean,
Yeah.
I still have one right now. No, I'm just kidding. I don't. Wouldn't that be so cool?
Yeah. I know. I got the PS2 ones, man. I got a shit ton of Sega Dreamcast memory cards, and then I threw my Sega Dreamcast inside of our arcade cabinet with fucking two wireless connectors to joysticks, and then it has a built-in memory card in the adapter with hella
Oh
space,
shit.
enough space for
That's
like
cool.
every game. Yeah, and then
I
that
miss
Dreamcast,
Dreamcast too. Yeah, Dreamcast was cool.
yeah, Power Stone 2. You ever played that game or Power Stone?
I don't remember that one, but I do remember when I played Dreamcast, I had to like go. That's why video games were like when I was a kid, they were like, whoa. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I would go down the street to my buddy's house and he had Dreamcast and we would play like Soul Calibur or like they had a bunch of Final Fantasy games. What me and him mostly played was you remember like Mario Party for Nintendo?
Yeah,
They had that for Dreamcast, but it was like Sonic the Hedgehog.
Sonic Shuffle.
Yeah, that's what it
Yep.
was called.
Yeah.
Sonic Shuffle. We used to play that shit all the time.
Yeah, dude. I
That was
remember.
fun.
Sonic Shuffle was tight. I rented that game and like there was a scratch on the fucking disc. So every time I got to the
Ah,
second level, it would just like I was like, fuck. It
whack.
would freeze up, and I didn't have a memory card, I think, so I couldn't save. I can't remember why, but I just gave up at a point. But yeah, that game is
Yeah,
badass. Fucking
Dreamcast was cool.
yeah. I really dig Dreamcast, man.
Yeah.
I wish they would redo a lot of the games that they did back then. But yeah, I actually
Honestly, that's the console. If I was gonna go out and buy one right now, other than the N64, that'd probably be the one I'd go for.
yeah,
Is a
that's
Dreamcast.
you got to do it, man. You got to get one online, and um I'll show you a YouTube video of this guy that has a modded Dreamcast with many games.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's fucking sick. So, speaking of old video games, there was a game that was released on PS1 called Loaded, and I don't know if you ever played that game. It was a launch title on the PlayStation 1, and it follows the story of these like characters that were framed um, for crimes, and they're put in this crazy space prison, and they find their weapons and they bust out, and it's like a top-down shooter, kind of like Smash TV type game, and then like
Yeah.
there was just tons of blood, and it's very dark. It was rated M. It had some like it had a really cool techno soundtrack and a really awesome like characters and art. Um, the first release that I'm gonna be doing on Press is going to be the Loaded collection. We're gonna be looking at 2 T-shirts. They're gonna go up for pre-order, and then it's gonna be like the Necrovision, how the turnaround was. Um, it's gonna be one T-shirt has been revealed. Probably by the time this goes live, there might be the second design revealed. As far as the date that the drop is gonna go live, I don't know exactly when. Probably by the end of March. Um, we're looking at February. Could be mid-March, could be the end of March. I know after I get all the Necrovision shipped out, like until I get all the Necrovision bundles shipped out, I'm not putting this on. Like, and that's how I'm gonna do my
Right.
shit. Yeah, like I want to
Yeah, it is smart to do it that way.
make sure the last one is like out of my hair before I do another one. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, man, I'm fucking super juiced about that. The Loaded collection, 2 designs. One of them has Fwank the Clown, who's a pretty badass clown, and then I have the promo video for that on the Mavizzle Press site. And then you can expect a long sleeve as the second shirt, and that one it's gonna be a little pricey. These are gonna be some pricey fucking shirts because they're gonna be really high quality.
They're bootlegs. They gotta be.
Well, what I'm looking at doing is like, I want to ask people like, what kind of shirts do you like your shit printed on? Like, do you like comfort colors? Do you like Gildan heavyweight? Do like what kind of t-shirt do you want? Because
Yeah.
I know there's
I mean,
like
they're all different.
there's some really comfortable ones, and then there's some really fucking cool ones that like just high quality. I want to make sure everything that I put out is of the highest quality, and then when I do open pre-orders, they're not going to be open for very long. So I'm going to blast everybody with this first one, and then moving forward on drops, it's going to be, you got to be on that email list. So if you're
Yeah.
listening to this right now, sign up on that email list for Mavizzle.press. I'm going to be
For real.
doing all of my drops very timed, exclusive. The only shit that you're going to see up on the site all the time is going to be distro items as they're in stock. Once I'm out of distro, I might only open it up temporarily for distro too, but it's going to be a little bit different than what the other record labels are doing, until I put a release out. When I put a release out, it still might be limited. You got to get your
Yeah.
shit off of my site before you got to get it off of Discogs or the resale market. Like, that's basically the way that Mavizzle.press is going to be.
Okay. That's cool. It kind of like adds like an exclusivity almost.
Well, it's just I want to do it quality. I don't want to just have tons of shit, Like, I want to,
Right.
if I have something really cool, people think it's cool. All right, here you go. Here's your chance at it. All right, now I'm going to focus on bringing something more quality to you in the
Yeah.
future. I'm not going to ever come with quantity and be like, "Oh, here's a bunch of something that I think is all right, like buy it, like if you want to." Like,
Yeah.
I want to just like be like, "Yo, this is tight.
Then
This is
no,
it."
I agree
Yeah.
with you. Yeah, that's a good way to go about it. Like
Yeah.
honestly, like
Cuz there's a lot of
you
shit.
shouldn't really you shouldn't really ever like I guess not necessarily put all your eggs into one basket on one thing, but like it's always more comforting knowing that you're putting all your eggs into one basket, so to speak, into something that you like really like truly believe in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly, man. Like these
It makes the
ideas.
investment or whatever you put into it much more worth it.
Yeah, and like the ideas for the bootlegs are ideas I've had for a really long time. Like, it's shit that I've been, planning for a long time. I wish I could just do it for myself, but I haven't had the means. After doing the Necrovision release, I'm like, I can fucking do anything on the internet, like, as far as a storefront.
Yeah, dude, it's not impossible.
So, yeah, I guess we'll just wrap it up there, man. I had a really good episode with you this week, my friend. We went probably about, I think, an hour 30, hour 40. Um, This will be up on Spotify next week. This will be up on Patreon tomorrow, and it'll be on YouTube next week, next Thursday. The previous episode will be uploading to Spotify tomorrow too. Um, if you want to get this podcast without any ads, go over to the Patreon. I'll probably just record a separate ad for the Patreon and put it on here. I need to do that.
And if you want to get this show with Dirt Riff smoking more pot, just keep listening or watching because it's bound to happen.
Later.
Later.